Welcome to our weekly connection, my friends. I am so excited that you are here. It is August. We have made it. It's my favorite time of the year. And Katie's sweatshirt is like making me so happy right now. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus, right? I am so excited. And I got a lot of questions that people wanted answers to on the live. They can't make the call today. They can't join us live, but they did have questions that they would like answers to. So kind of the format today, I'll make sure that those questions are answered. And if you have the answers to the questions as well, I'd love for you to chime in, or I might just call on you if I know you know the answer. And then we're going to have some vulnerability at the end. It's going to be a really awesome call. So I'm so glad that you guys made it to join us today. Before we start all of that, how's everyone doing? Good. See a lot of thumbs up. Awesome. Are you loving August so far? Yeah. I was woken up at 5:30 by a very loud thunderstorm, scared the crap out of me. It was amazing though. I love thunderstorms because we hardly get them here. It's monsoon season and it's probably the best one we've had since I've lived here.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. So I might be a little tired, but I am here. We're going to do big gulps today. I chose my mug accordingly, you know? Cool. So I want to get started by just answering some of the questions that we had. Oh, hold on one sec. Let me let Edie in. And as people, if you ever forget about the call or you have something else that bleeds into the call, but you can hop on later, please come on later. You are always welcome to join us throughout the entire call. This is nothing super formal, but we would love to have you. Even if you come late, we would love to have you join us. This is always open for you. So some of the questions I had gotten from some people who are new, one was, okay, it's now August. Where's my title? If you promoted last month, right? And that's an awesome question. So the title and pay change happens once our commissions run, because they make sure to audit everything, make sure everything's on the up and up. And then once that commission runs by the 10th of the month, you will not only get your title change, but if you have promoted, you will also see that pay increase and the bonuses applied to your commissions. So on the 10th of the month is when that happens, or by the 10th. Oftentimes we get it early in the United States because we have other regions that are in, or they're ahead of us time zone wise. So oftentimes we get paid by like the 9th. And sometimes it's as early as like the 8th if it's on a weekend, if the 9th falls on a Sunday or a Saturday. So very exciting. The next question I had was personal specials. So somebody asked, hey, can I offer X, Y, or Z when I am promoting something like club memberships, or if I have something specific I want to sell, or if I'm doing a party, can I offer personal specials? And I'm actually going to call on Courtney to answer this one. Yeah, I did it.
All right, I have a tiny little screen. So you said personal specials, can we offer them?
Yes, talk about personal specials.
So yes and no. The quick answer to that is, of course, you can offer personal specials one-on-one being personal messages to people. Kind of makes sense. Personal special, personal message only. You cannot offer personal specials on Facebook, like on your regular post feed, or any like your VIP group. You can't post it so that everybody can see. So personal special, personal message, personal special, not public message.
I love that. I had never thought about it like that. That's really good way to remember. And it's also, you might be thinking, well, but I've got all these things I can offer. Why can't I? It's because the playing field is level for all of us. If somebody has the means to offer all of these specials, they can, and if they were able to promote it publicly, that wouldn't be fair to the rest of us who might not be able to offer those big, exciting, amazing things. And so that is all those are all rules to keep it level for everybody, from brand new consultants all the way up to the top tip seasoned consultants, right? Yeah. Hello, friends. Welcome. Fallon's at a farm, it looked like. And oh my gosh, she's got some cows with her. Of course, she's got cows. Why wouldn't she? Are you communing with your people, with your nature? Anyway, Fallon is on vacation right now, but she's popping in to join us so we can see those cute little calves. I can't remember. You're at a creamery, right?
Yeah, this is like this is a side place that we just went. That's a farm.
Oh, that's so fun. That's
They
exciting.
try and eat you though. No right.
Are you gonna get a cow?
I wish I would take it home immediately. This is Melissa, and that's Nora. So we've got options here, but Melissa is my favorite. She like goes into your hand when you scratch her.
Oh my gosh, that's like a cat. She just leans in.
They're honestly like dogs, and then their tongues feel like cats. So
That is the best. All right, Melissa, thanks for popping in and joining us. Oh, that's so fun. All right, so besides the promotions and personal specials, do you guys want to talk a little bit about the incentive? Yeah, I want Katie to talk about the incentive because she just got back from an Alaskan cruise that she earned last fall. Do you want to tell us about the incentive and like what shifted in your business to be able to earn that last year?
Sure. Hey, everyone. Okay, so incentive, absolutely worth every ounce of effort it takes to sit down and figure out how to earn it, bite-sized pieces of what it's going to take in your business and what it's going to take to shift. So that's a really good question. Is everybody joins this business for a different reason. And sometimes when we're thinking about the opportunity and presenting it to people, we oftentimes want to lead with it's extra income, it's extra time. And those are wonderful and great reasons. But there's a lot of people who are waiting for a little something more, and that can be travel. And wouldn't you know, Scentsy really is that full caveat of opportunity. And it does include that travel. So for me, once I earned the trip, my family and I earned Disney World, and I made a commitment to myself that I would never not earn another trip. And so that is my motivation of, I am much more intentional and aware of how am I spending my time? What am I showing on my Facebook or my Instagram that's helping me get to the next place that I'm looking to go to? So it's not that we have to be spammy, and it's not that we have to turn all of our energy into how can you help me get to this trip, right? Because that can sometimes be a turnoff. More or less, it's how can I play show and tell with Scentsy that is going to elevate my business to the next level, because that incentive trip is just a bonus along the way, because what it's going to do in your business is absolutely earth-shattering, mind-changing. And I think the joy in that too is if you are team building and you have people that have joined you in this business, getting to help them understand and break down and help them see that this is possible from day one, right out of the gate. I think that's what I love the most about Scentsy is every opportunity they give us is attainable for someone who has been in for one day or 15 years. So I will say, coming right off of this last incentive trip, I am definitely motivated to do it again. And I'm going to tell you even one more further reason why. This changed my business internally because my husband saw how this actually is a business that can bless us throughout many different facets. And not that he ever wasn't supportive. Maybe we can all kind of relate to this a little bit. They're like, oh, this is great. This is neat. Glad that you're doing this. But as soon as they go and they see the connections and the relationships that are made, and you wait to see people that are distance from you and you just wrap them up in these hugs, and they're watching this and saying, wow, this is really, really helping my wife in so many different ways, not just selling wax bars, not just earning a trip or extra income, but there's character development in this too. There's relationships to be had. And so when we got back from this trip, the first question my husband asked was, where are we going next year? And that for me is my top motivation, that I feel like he's proud of me and I feel like he's championing me, because yeah, there's something to get out of it, but that's okay with me because he believes it now. He has seen it. So for yourself, for your tribe, for your family, for your kids, whatever your why is, make sure that you're keeping those at the forefront of your mind when you run these in, because it will change the dynamic of your business too.
You had me in tears a little bit there. It's just, it can be so emotional for some people, and it's not going to be emotional for everybody, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's going to have different desires, different things that drive them, different things that make them want to show up. So it's just figuring out, why are you showing up? What does it for you? Do you want to earn a free trip? Do you want to grow your business? Do you need extra income? Do you need something for you that fills your cup and helps with that character development that Katie was talking about? You know, I've mentioned this before, but I am such a different person than I was 9 years ago. And I attribute so much of my growth to being a business owner through Scentsy, because there are so many incredible people in our lives who are able to show us and teach us and help us uncover things about ourselves we might not have known otherwise. And I don't know, I don't think it can be understated that how incredible this is. So incentive trip, we have the points, we have the breakdown. If you missed the collective call the other day, I'm not going to post the recording link to YouTube like I normally do, because Candy did dual broadcast it live on the collective. So you can go find her live from Tuesday night and have all of that there. But we talked about the breakdown and how to earn it. And in our tribe, Nomad Tribe business support group, we have a couple different trackers that you can print out, so you can kind of guesstimate, okay, here are my goals, here's the PRV I plan to earn every month. You know, it's our fail plan, right? Maybe have your goal of, okay, my goal is going to be at least 3,000 PRV monthly, at least, and my fail plan will be that 2,500. But if I plan for the 3,000 points, I know that by the end of the incentive, simply by my PRV points alone, I will have earned level 1, because 3 times 6 is 18, and 18,000 is the amount of points that you need to earn registration for Reunion next year in Charlotte. And I hope all of you will join us. So anyway, knowing that requires 0 sponsoring points, knowing that I am planning to earn all of those things without any other points involved or added into it, I have earned level 1. Now you make the plan of, okay, how many people am I going to invite to join this opportunity? How many people am I going to help launch their business and get to at least their first promotion? How, was that it? Oh, and your own consistency, right? You get points for your own consistency throughout the time as well. And then if you end up promoting, if you keep growing your team, keep helping others build and grow their team and their businesses, you're going to earn those promotion points too. So this is an incredible opportunity for you to plan it out. I can't understate that enough, because there's nothing worse than getting close to the end of the incentive, realizing, crap, I should have done more at the beginning. Think of the incentive as like your normal month. You want to front load it, so you are not in that hustle mindset, which leads to the burnout at the end, thinking, how in the heck am I going to earn this? I have to earn this, and then burning yourself out. You don't want to do that. So front load it, plan more upfront in August, September, October, even November, because our biggest sales months are usually September, October, because of the harvest collection and the holiday collection. It's not to say this month's not going to be awesome, because it is. Just year over year, the data shows us that September and October are where the majority of the sales come in. But plan it out. If you don't have a plan, what happens? Yeah, like maybe something will happen.
I forgot to mention too, like, I'm just going to cap it with this too. There is no travel like Scentsy travel, period. That is how we need to end that, because there's really no way to over communicate this, that, yay, it's a trip. Yes, it's fun. There is no travel like Scentsy travel, period. You want to go, earn it, break it down, bite-sized pieces. Ariel is right. If you don't know what you're aiming for, you're going to miss. So that's why we break it down into bite-sized pieces, so that you get every attainable point that's possible.
And this goes back to the foundation that we have been building, that we've been talking about for months and months and months. That 5x5 checklist are those income producing activities that are going to help move your business forward and give you a metric with which to be able to, check things off your list, know that you are doing the right things. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. And that's probably scary and like feels icky and itchy to you. I don't know. Like, do you feel like when you feel emotions, right? You're either going to feel like hot or cold. You're going to feel it either in your chest or your stomach or your head. Figure out what makes you uncomfortable, what like temperature you're feeling and where you feel it. Breathe through it, note what's happening, and figure out a way to move forward, right? We can sit in discomfort. That's not going to hurt us. You have lived through all of the uncomfortable moments that you've had in your life. Think about that. Everything, every situation that has been uncomfortable or felt hard, you're on the other side of it. You've made it through. And this is not just a reminder for you guys. I still find myself internally cringing away from hard things because nobody likes it. Our brains are hardwired to tell us, no, ma'am, do not go that route. Here's the easy way. Sit in that discomfort, especially when you're like literally sitting at your desk trying to get work done and you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to do the things. Sit with it for a minute. Do the hard thing and the feelings will pass. And then you get to keep moving forward. Yeah. I know it's hard to like imagine that. And on the same line, when we're talking about these trips, like I want to earn a top level of this trip, right? I want to be able to choose a different region's incentive trip. I want to go to Monte Carlo. I love the options that they have provided for us that are Quebec, New York City, Los Cabos, and the cruise. Thank you so much. Woo. Wow, I almost forgot. But I want to earn a trip to Europe. That's what I want to go for. So I'm going to have to push really hard out of my comfort zone and do the things that my brain is telling me I shouldn't or can't do. But I have to also believe that it's possible that I can do that. Oftentimes we talk about our mindset shifting it to like, okay, I can do this. I will do this. I am envisioning my higher self doing these things. Sometimes that's a really big reach for people. So there's an in-between step that I want you to consider. Okay, I know that that is possible for me to do that. Rather than, okay, I'm seeing myself, I'm doing these things, that's amazing. I believe that it's possible that I can do those things. Sometimes that baby step in between is what's going to help you be able to actually keep moving forward and get there, knowing that it's possible that that can happen. Because saying, I'm going to do this, I am doing this, I will do this, oftentimes that can create a barrier in our brain. And if we fail, sometimes we let that shut us down. Rather than using that failure as a stepping stone to other things and growth, if we set this massive, huge goal for ourselves and don't hit it, oftentimes we throw in the towel and we're done. So rather than, if that's too hard for you to believe, if your brain just like, you can't wrap your mind around it, try the next thing. Try that baby step of, I believe that it's possible that I can do these things. Yeah, you guys with me on that? Yep, cool. Disconnect, perfect. Okay, Brittany was just letting us know she might drop out, but she will come back and join us. So cool. Okay, does anybody have any questions pertaining to the incentive specifically? I didn't have any other questions come through.
I have one question, if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, Amy. Go ahead.
So if you do get the to go to SFR, can you still earn the other levels too? Like, is it combinable, or do you have to choose one?
It's not stacked. You choose one. Yep.
So if you choose to go to SFR, you can't choose one of the other incentive trips?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and the level 1 is registration for SFR. So it's not the flights and all that. But if you earn level 2, I don't know if it's this year as well, but last year I couldn't make the Alaskan, or this year I couldn't make the Alaskan cruise happen, even though I earned it for one. I chose SFR as my incentive option. And so I did get flight credit, per diem, and registration paid because I earned level 2. So that could be something in the future, but you choose one option of the options, and that's what you get on. It's not stacked.
You can't.
Okay, so if you get level 1, you can't choose level 2.
Correct.
Like you can't get both levels.
Right. You have to earn up to
Okay.
the level and you choose one option that's that level or below.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You bet. Courtney, what were you saying?
Is that you can't earn both, but even if you earn level 2 and you still want to go at SFR, you can pay for the SFR and go on your incentive. So but
Yes.
you can't earn both.
Yes, that's a really good point. And SFR, you know, most of the people on here have been to SFR and they can attest to the fact that it's a game changer for your business. The connection, the education, the guest speakers, the energy, the excitement, it's worth going. So if it's between you, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If you can make both happen time-wise, make both happen. Earn the incentive and travel Scentsy style and save your money to make sure that you can afford to go to SFR.
Yeah.
Save commissions from every check, like pull some out every check to save up. That's what I do. Every single paycheck that I get, a portion goes to my travel fund so that I know I will be able to make it to any Scentsy events. I know that that's part of my plan. It's part of my business. I make that a priority. So if you need to figure out ways to increase your commissions, honestly, earning the trip and getting those levels, like we've talked about the 5x5, I have it up on the board. That's why I keep referencing the things. Like I have my incentive papers over there. My 5x5 checklist is over here. I have all the things, but the 5x5 Foundation has helped build that foundation to help you earn the incentive trip, which is going to, in the fall, just generally speaking, you're going to earn higher commissions while building that foundation that will carry on beyond that. So knowing all of that, those things, implementing those actions are going to help your commissions check increase on their own if you are consistently doing those items. If you are consistently growing your customer base, if you are consistently making those big, bold offers to people to start their own Scentsy business, right? Cool. All right, does anybody have any other incentive or SFR questions? World tour locations should be announced. They're usually announced around November. And just as a reminder, start saving money back so you can join us at our world tour retreat. We are going to pick a location. Once all the locations have been announced, we will pick the location and have a retreat around that time. All go to world tour together and then finish off the retreat. And it's going to be wonderful and amazing. So that's going to be February-ish. Maybe end of January, February-ish. So start making a plan to attend that too, right? Yeah, cool. All right, no other incentive questions? All right, next. I got my whole list here. Okay, so I've had questions also. I'm gonna keep saying that. My next question to answer, what if you have another job, a 9-to-5? How do you make your Scentsy business work? How do you make sure that you are posting and engaging with customers? How can you make a 9-to-5 and your Scentsy business work?
Can I jump in on that?
Yes, girl.
Honestly, I feel that busy people and people that have other jobs, they are almost more successful because they have to schedule their time. You have to schedule the 5 minutes when you're getting ready, the 10 minutes at lunch, the half hour when the kids go to bed. You have to schedule it. So it's a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but it's more structured and manageable to put that time in rather than like now I stay home and I'm like, well, I have all day. I could post later. Well, when you're working, you don't have all day. So what I did when I worked was, hold on, buddy. I'm sorry. What I did was pre-plan posts. So if you have a VIP group or whatever, schedule those out. So I would take Sunday and schedule my whole week of posts out. And then all you're having to do is go back in and interact with the comments. So you're not scrambling to post something. The other thing is just finding those little tidbits. One of my teammates is full-time and she sets a timer for 20 minutes to get something done. And she said most of the time, if she's almost done, she'll just keep going. But if she only has 20 minutes, she got 20 minutes worth of work in. She sets a timer, she sits down and she does what she has to do. And then it's done. and then you set that timer again if you didn't quite finish it, or you set it later. So having that structure, having a game plan, and actually scheduling the time that you're going to work the business, whether it's 10 minutes 3 times a day, or a 30-minute chunk, or on your lunch you take that 15-20 minutes. It's that scheduling that's going to really push your business further, and you don't feel like you're stressed out trying to add it in.
And that takes discipline.
Yes.
Knowing that you only have that time and then actually doing the work during that time, that takes discipline. I think that's a lot of times people give up because they don't want to put the work in and they want to be lazy, or they maybe have, you know, and I get it. I schedule in my rest time. I schedule in my relaxing, and I make sure, sorry, someone, I'm going to mute you guys so I can, anyway, so schedule that time in and actually do the work during that time. That discipline and the consistency is what is going to set you and your business apart from those who are unwilling to do the work. It's all about willpower and discipline. You didn't see the results? Did you do the work? And those are tough conversations you have to have with yourself. I have those conversations still, because sometimes I let my lazy side take over. If I'm reading a good book, sometimes I'll just, but I have one more chapter. I'm almost done with the book. I'm just going to finish it, and then I'll get to work tomorrow. I still have to talk myself out of doing things like that. So just because I've been doing this for almost 9 years doesn't like magically make me stronger. I have to work on it daily. And you might too. But be consistent with it, and it should get easier. Just don't pick up a new book and like get sucked into it, is what I can say. But that 5x5, I'm going to keep referencing this dang thing. That 5x5 checklist, you can get that done in 20 or 30 minutes if you set aside the time and if you work intentionally. And if you don't get distracted by the scroll. How many times do you pick up your phone a day? Okay, and you're going to do something. Oh, and I have a text from a friend, so I'm going to look at that real quick. Oh my gosh, look at that reel. That is so fun. I'm going to save that audio. I want to do that. Oh my God, this email. My kid's baseball schedule just came out. Oh crap. Do you see what I'm saying? You can get so distracted by this thing that if you don't have a list, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have the discipline to stay focused and do the work's not gonna get done. That's hard to take responsibility with sometimes, you know? It's hard to say, okay, this was my fault. I didn't see the results because I didn't put the work in. I only have myself to blame. But do not let that blame eat at you. Do not let that blame become a heavy burden or a weight that sticks with you. Acknowledge it, make a plan, and move on. Because if you don't do those things, you're going to keep sitting under that weight. And then what happens if you feel like a failure and it didn't get done and you just keep not doing it? What happens? You're just going to quit. You're going to stop. Nobody wants that. We don't want that. We don't want that for you. We want you to be disciplined, she said to herself. So if you need help making a plan, please, please, please don't hesitate. But I would like every one of you to make a plan for the incentive. We want to travel with you. Like Katie said, there is no travel like Scentsy travel. They spoil you. They make you feel loved and appreciated for all of your hard work. And you get to travel with friends. And if you don't have friends on the trip, you're going to make friends. As long as you don't hole yourself up in your room and keep yourself away from people. You know, as long as you put yourself out there and meet new people, you're going to make Scentsy lifelong besties. I can't tell you the amount of trips that I've met new people that are now some of my closest and dearest friends that I did not know them before. Maybe I knew their name. Maybe I saw them around at reunion or whatever, but having those connections is incredibly beneficial to your business because we are a huge, amazing tribe here, right? We are this amazing collective that shares. We have like this brain trust. Wait, is that the right word? This brain, we share things. Anyway, it's not worth trying to think of the word, but we share the things, right? But if you have a connection outside, maybe they have an idea that we haven't thought of, or maybe they can help support you in a different way emotionally, because sometimes it's hard to vent to your sponsor or your friend if you know them personally here in the collective, in our tribe. Maybe it's easier to have a connection outside, just an outside third party ear to be able to talk to. Sometimes that's easier. But anyway, meeting these people on travel is incredible. I don't know where I was going with that. So that's great. Anybody else know where I was going with that? Cool. Great. So anyway, that's the incentive trip. I want you to make a plan. We want to travel with you. Oh, I think that's where I was. I think I'm boop, beep, boop. We want to travel with you. We want to be able to help you make a plan. And if you have other jobs, if you have other responsibilities, we'll help you make a plan that encompasses all of the things. Like I just got my son's baseball schedule for the fall, and it's a lot. We're also starting them in gymnastics again, so that's a lot. They already have music lessons that we've got to figure out. That's a lot. But guess what? My business is important to me. You guys are important to me. So I'm going to help make sure that my business, you guys as the tribe, all have a priority too. Because I want to earn the trip and I want to travel with you guys. I want to see you guys at reunion. I want to hang out with you guys in person. It's so much better when we can do it together. That cannot be understated, you know, like enough. It's just overstated. Whatever. You guys, we want you there. We want to help support you. And if you don't have a desire to come travel with us, but you want a successful business, awesome. We'll figure out a plan to support you in that. Maybe you're not a people person. Maybe I'm too much in person. I get that a lot. But that's okay. We want to help you with your business, how you want your business to run. Your business is yours, not ours, right? It's going to look different from all of ours. So how can we help you make a plan to have a successful business? Oh, Brittany or Brandy read the wrong B. Brandy said we are way cooler in person. I don't disagree, but I have a very high respect for myself, high self-esteem. Ego, I'm proud. Yeah, motivate, it's hard because that comes intrinsically. When you have a plan and you have the discipline to implement the plan, that's when you're going to see the success, because motivation does not come every day. I was just talking about this a minute ago before you hopped on. Sometimes I have a hard time pulling myself away from a good book or sitting down and actually doing my tasks, but knowing what's at the end of finishing the tasks makes it a lot more rewarding, knowing that I am helping people grow their business. I am helping build a business that I can hopefully, that my kids will maybe someday want to take over, right? I'm building a legacy here. I'm not just building a business for me. I'm building it for my kids' future too. So that's what I'm doing. That's my motivation long term. But I have to be disciplined today to see those results. And that's the hard stuff to remember, is the day in and day out.
Ariel?
Go ahead, Edie.
Hi, how is everyone, first of all? I just noticed Linda hopped on, and I'm going to go back to your question with Brandy about what if you have another full-time job?
Oh.
So here's a snapshot of just me. I don't have a full-time job. I have a interrupted scheduled part-time job with hiccups. So you get that email that's action required now. So then that again with Priscilla on your shoulder creates moment. So basically, I think this goes back to Kristen Boss, and I think it goes back to a little bit what you have also said. One of the things that helps me the most is to sit down monthly, and sometimes that's weekly because you get those things you need to do weekly. For example, I took Dean to the airport yesterday and a huge rock came out of nowhere. So guess what happened to the front windshield? And of course, that's the thing. Your first thing you say to yourself is, I don't have time for this. But again, Cincy has taught me you can make time. So I block that time and I look at my day with what Brandy said, and when should I post? Same thing, if it's a busy week, I do my VIPs, but I also know, and it's a learned process, that you have to just keep trying and rethinking and readjusting your schedule. And that's what I love, is that basically you can run your business, no excuses. Even those on vacation right now, hugging cows, you can do it. I also have other obligations in my life because I belong to a lot of interactive groups. So it's, to me, it's just important. I think you've said, set that timer. I have a huge elephant on my plate, a huge project with deadlines. And how do you do that when you're feeling overwhelmed? You block out that hour, you set that timer for Cincy, you set that timer for that project, and you just do it.
And you eat the elephant one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. And to me, it's just being aware of what you've got coming up, and then just sitting down and scheduling it, because the key word in my mind is be consistent, show up daily. And I let Priscilla know I can't expect results overnight, because, and I've heard this from a lot of superstar directors, even some in this group right now, it takes 90 days of consistency to see your results. And I am just going to say that I have a lot of peeps out there, and I've been very shy about posting to my personal profile. It's been 90 days and I've got 2 new customers with Scooby-Doo so far. So why I'm not pictured is I'm sitting here working on my job form, because that today I knew that was the #1 priority, is once the scheduled information gets out there from Cincy, I need to block whatever time, because I am not fast fingers at all at job form, but I get really good results with it. And I love that it tracks it. And I don't know, whatever form you use to collect those pre-orders. And it's just, all I can stress is don't give up. There's no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. And so what if it doesn't work? Take what you can learn, tweak it, and move on. And that's all I want to say, because no matter what's going on, we all have lives, and our lives are what we make it. Cincy fits in that. You just have to have a little bit of grit and discipline to know that, okay, every day at 9 o'clock, I'm going to post, or whenever you're posting. And I'm going to do a shout out to our little lunch party we're having here, where we can invite friends or new customers or people that have expressed an interest, and we're all going to run it. A shout out to Courtney, because I posted Tuesday going, okay, Courtney said, and I'm going to see if it works. I posted Tuesday and all my responses came in Wednesday. So Wednesday is a good day to kind of push things. And if that helps everybody, that's why this is so important to be a part of all this, because that's one of my biggest questions. Am I posting at the right time? Should I adjust my schedule? And when I hear a little tidbit, my first thought is, well, let's go see if I can nudge anybody. And I thought that was awesome, Courtney. So thank you. Thanks, Ariel. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Edie. That actually reminded me, because we had been talking about when you have another job, what is helpful to be able to run your business successfully. Earlier, we were talking about Visly. There are a lot of third-party options that people create posts for a party that's up to a week, or even posts for your VIP group up to a year. There are options for you to be able to set that up to auto post, so that you don't have to worry about, okay, what am I going to post? When am I going to post it? You set it up, you schedule it, and then your time can be spent doing those income producing activities, talking with people, because we know that the actual conversations with our customers are what lead to the sales, because that leads to the engagement and the relationship and the trust, that emotional, relational equity that we build with people. So the posts are a great option to keep you relevant in your VIP group or on your page or whatever paste. But what matters is the connections that you're making with your people, the actual conversations that you're having. So if it comes down to posting or having a conversation, conversation should win every single time. If it comes down to making a funny reel or asking somebody to host a party, ask them to host a party. Your time can be better spent, especially if you have limited time. If you are under time constraints and need to know, like, hey, I've got to get X, Y, and Z done. I've got to get my 5x5 checklist done. The other stuff is tertiary. It's not important. Get the IPAs done that help move your business forward, right? All right, so Edie mentioned the mega party. We are so excited to have that. If you have not had a launch party yet, or if you've not transitioned season, maybe you're not sure what to do, or you've been around a while, but again, never had a launch party, you're new, never had a launch anyway, or if you're like seasoned and just want to have a fun place for your customers to hang out, we are doing the mega party starting on Sunday is when we're going to invite people into the group, and Monday through Friday we'll run the party. And we'd love to have you participate. We'd love to have you invite your people to join us, your customers. And then we're planning for everybody to close out their parties on Saturday. So I have explained it all. There is an event in the Nomad Tribe group that's a behind the scenes of how it's going to run. There's also options and opportunities for you to be engaged and involved that don't require a lot of thinking, because you might be wondering, oh my gosh, I've never done this. I don't know what to do. We are going to have preset verbiage and pictures for you to post for whatever you volunteer for. So the only thing that you're going to be responsible for is posting on your day and time. If you're comfortable doing a live video, awesome. I think we have 1 or 2 more live video spots open. Otherwise, we would love to have you take charge of one of the posts that we're already going to have ready for you. All you're going to have to do is post and invite your people and make sure that they're engaged and having fun and ready to learn about Scentsy and have fun with the new fall catalog. So if you fit into any of these categories of, I'm new, I don't know what to do, I've never done this before, or hey, it's been a while, this could be fun. This is for you. And we'd love to have you join us. So if you have any questions, go to the events tab in our Nomad Tribe Business Support Group, the events section. Go to the event, watch the videos, because I might have answered your question, volunteer for something and join us. Cool? All right.
Ariel, quick
Yeah.
question, because I want to participate. I can either post, or I was going to challenge myself with a video. She's nodding. Go out of that comfort zone. I'm really good with my peeps, but it's like, ooh. Format. How do you want that sent, and who do we send it to if you're thinking about doing it?
So I did answer you on the event, but
I have, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. This is a good question, because the videos, I want them to be live. Because if you want to do a video and you can't do live, okay, we'll go from there. But if you can do it live, that allows people who are in the group to be able to pop on, that'll post notification, and they'll be able to engage, and that'll get more traffic to the group and more views on the video, so people can learn more about Scentsy.
Okay, great question. Now I just have to look at that schedule and respond with a answer to your question, but thank you.
You bet. Cool. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? No? All right, Katie. I'm gonna ask Katie. She already knows. This is not a surprise. She's gonna get vulnerable and talk about a lesson that she learned when it comes to customer care and relationships. So I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, hey y'all. I can tell I'm nervous because my fingers look like sausages, but I think something, yeah, and I'm drinking multitudes of coffee. I am very committed to being as, what's the word? Don't unmute yet, help with words, transparent as possible in my business and with my friends and with consultants. And so I had something happen 2 weeks ago, and it took me a little bit of time to process it, but then I did reach out to Ariel and told her, hey, this happened, and I think it might be something to talk about in our connection sometime, because I'm pretty sure it has happened to all of us, maybe just not the opportunity to have it like so. So I'm just going to set the tone. So we know incentives coming up, we know fall's coming up, and we all like to use that word push a lot, right? Here comes the push. And so I myself am starting to my business plan, how I'm going to push through this incentive period, how I'm going to grow my business. And I have personal goals for myself right now to run in some new titles. So I was making a list of action items that I wanted to do for my business. And one of those was to grow my VIP group a little bit bigger, kind of add some fresh blood, get some new fun energy involved. So, very innocent activity, right? Inviting people into your VIP group. So, the first thing I did is I went through my contacts page on our dashboard, and I wanted to make sure I had all of my customers in my VIP group and gave them an opportunity to come in. I noticed a couple names and I thought, oh, I've not included them yet. So I go over to Facebook and I simply send out a few invites to my VIP group. Not even 15 minutes passed and I got a text message on my phone. And, whoa, sorry. It shocked me because this is someone in my life who's been in my life for a long time. She is a customer, and someone I have an existing relationship with, and I love and respect her. And she sent a text message to me and said, thank you so much for the invitation, actually the re-invitation into your VIP group, but I am going to decline because I think it's very inauthentic of you to continue to solicit this relationship for business and not friendship. And I was very taken aback, if you can imagine. And I sat in that feeling for a minute, but I responded and I told her, wow, I'm so sorry. Um, I am trying to streamline my business and I'm trying to put all of my customers in one area so I can better communicate with you about what's coming, about personal specials, things like that. And I know that you've been a great customer and I wanted to give you the opportunity to be included. Please don't see this as a solicitation. I saw it as inclusion. Some time passed and she responded again and let me know that I was not nurturing our friendship first and that she thought we were friends before anything else. And the fact that I thought of her as a customer, because I used that word, made her feel like this relationship was no longer important. There was a couple more text exchanges back and forth. Nothing, it never got heated. It never got mean. It was simply, I think, both of us trying to better understand and share the feelings behind the actions. But then I simply had to tell her, I love you. I need to step away from this conversation today. Could we please touch base tomorrow? And that conversation ended. And I don't know, I mean, maybe even just through, maybe you have not had this happen, but maybe someone has gone silent on you, or maybe someone is no longer responding to you. Those things that you sit with and think about are pretty hard. Those are really hard things to sit in, right? The betrayal, the betrayal of a friendship. Have I overstepped my boundaries? Who else have I done this to? Is this how I am being perceived? I went from feeling rather shocked because I'm not to name names or backgrounds, but she is also in sales. You guys know that Shane and I are realtors outside of this as well. So, excuse me, she's been someone I've done business with. She's also a realtor. She knows how this works. For lack of better words, she knows how business works, right, guys? She knows how to network. She knows how to bring people in. She knows pop buys. She knows great customer service. And she called me out. So I had to have done something that made her feel invisible. And if you know me in my personal life, this is probably the hardest thing that could have happened to me in my business, because I try to see people, everybody. And so I had to sit with this for 24 hours. I got a text message at 5:30 in the morning the next morning. And first I'm like, who the heck is texting me at 5:30 in the morning? And it was her. And she said, I am so sorry for how I approached you yesterday. That's not what I meant to say, but my feelings were hurt and it came out in anger. And I had to respond to her. And my response to her was, you were not wrong. She was not wrong, you guys. I didn't nurture that friendship before I nurtured the business side of it. I got very streamlined in the push. I got very streamlined in the customer. I got very streamlined in how can I best give them all the information and knowledge about Scentsy. And what she wanted was information and knowledge about the Edic family. She wanted an invite to coffee. She wanted some nurturement of that friendship before I decided that she was going to be a customer before a friend. And so I talked to Ariel about this because we are in the season of push. And just be so mindful in how you run your business that you are not going to push yourself away from your friendships. Rather, this happened about 2.5 weeks ago. And so I've had a lot of time to sit in it. And I got to tell you guys, it was a very dark sit for me. Simply because of who I am as a human being and how I try to thrive in my relationships. That was a sock it to you moment. And she was not wrong. So then I had to go back, right? You want to talk about like humble pie. I had to go back into my contact list and say, when is the last time I reached out to them as a friend? Not when's the last time they got Happy Mail? When's the last time they got the new LTO? When's the last time they got anything, a thank you for your purchase? When is the last time I reached out and said, how are you? You guys, I want to hide out of embarrassment. I would say it's not like I was going down the list and was like, oh yeah, no, 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 no. But it was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculously eye-opening. But what hurt the worst is then the correlation of when is the last time I reached out as a friend first versus when is the last time they responded to anything Scentsy related. Y'all, we have to be so mindful in this business. We are excited. We love what we do. That's why we said yes. And our excitement is palpable. It should be so palpable that instead of the push, we are concentrating on the pull, right? Stop pushing. We don't need to push in this season. We need to pull. We want to be magnetic. We want our excitement about our products to be enough. If people are excited about it too, they will reach out. We do not need to consistently and constantly reach out to each one individually about each little thing that excites us. We do need to reach out about every milestone or the big milestones in their life when we see them post that on Facebook. Kindergarten just started. Are some of your customers, are they the ones that just sent their little kindergartners? Do not make it about Scentsy. I'd love to give you a discount for your kindergarten. Let's just not. Let's have those milestone moments with our friends and be so mindful that this business is so much character development if you allow it to be. And I had to have that hard sit moment where I had to realize that how I thought I was taking care of my customers is true. It's a great way to take care of a customer. It's a really crappy way to take care of a friend. And so I just had to get very mindful about the push. And so I'm trying to change my business model a little bit to be more of the pull. How can I pull people into my excitement? How can I pull them into the new LTOs, the new harvest collection? Sharing is caring, right? Oversharing can be painful, right? And not remembering that, hey, if maybe they're not responding every time, hey, if they're not showing the same excitement, it's maybe not about the products, but maybe it could be about your delivery. Maybe it could be a little bit about your inability to see that this friendship needs nurtured right now. And so to caveat back on that, we've gotten together since then. Was it awkward? No. It was almost one of those things where it was like I was hiding behind a bench and so was she. Because we're like, did we just have this conversation? Did we just like do this? I'm very proud of us I'm very proud of her for calling me out. I would much rather have someone in my corner that's going to say, I love you for you enough to tell you that this delivery might be painful. It's been painful for me. It could be painful for others because she gave me such a gift to look at my business differently. And yes, I am excited about it. And yes, these friendships matter to me. That was the hardest swallow for me, is that anybody would think that I saw them as a dollar sign before I saw the value of them as a human being, not the value of what they can do for my business. And so I think being so mindful of the valuable relationships we have along the way. I know we call it like the hey girl reach out and whatnot. Yes, we're all very mindful of that, right? We're all so painfully aware of not doing the hey girl. But what I don't think maybe we all realize is that we're doing the hey girl to our friends because we already think we have an in with that relationship. It's easier maybe to talk about our business. And what we don't realize is we might be saying like, bye, Felicia, right? To those wonderful friendships. And so the biggest takeaway I have is this: if the commonality did not start with Scentsy, right? If this isn't a relationship you picked up at an event or marketplace or however those other outside venues that we do, if the commonality did not start with Scentsy, don't make it the commonality. Don't be neglectful enough to think that that is going to be the nucleus of this relationship moving forward. And so it sucks to have to share this. Like, I've had some really big sock it to you moments in the last month, like 6 weeks. Like, they are humbling, they are hard, but they are character developing if you allow them to be. And so moving forward in my business, I have never been more hopeful than I am right now because I feel like I've changed much of the fundamentals of the business that people run past when you push, when you run, when you want that next title, when you want that incentive trip, when you want the bricks, and whatnot. We can't be so focused on the push that we push others away from us. And so maybe this has happened to you. Maybe it hasn't, but I would encourage you all to just be very mindful as because we're talking a lot about like making the list, making the plan. And mind you, I have my plan. I wasn't like, well, I'm quitting. That was too painful. I'm done. Instead, it was, how can I make my plan that is encouraging for me, but also for others? How am I going to make sure that if they are helping me and championing me into all of my success with Scentsy, that I am championing them and seeing them into kindergarten lineup, that I am championing them into their high school graduation of their first child. We can't be so streamlined in our own text posts. And again, nothing wrong with all these action items. They're great, but don't get so caught up in making sure that we have enough posts for the week that we aren't seeing other people's posts, and engaging with them in a different level. Because I got to tell you, I didn't think that would happen to me ever. I thought I was doing things great. I thought I was doing great customer follow-up. I thought I had systems in place that things weren't falling through the cracks. And the last 6 weeks has told me that is not true. And that sucked. So that in a nutshell is, I sent Ariel a voice message and told her, oh, by the way, this happened. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, and I didn't share it as like a on my merry way, oh, this is just something that happened today. It was like, hey, I've sat in this yucky feeling for a while, and I want to vulnerably share with you what has happened. And I think maybe in sharing this and talking through it in our biggest, heaviest time of the business could be valuable for others. So that's why I'm sharing. Take my oops and help you help your business not to do the same thing.
I forgot I was muted. Thank you so much for sharing, Katie. I while we may not have had the same interaction, people haven't necessarily called me out on it. I've been ghosted, and I thought I had friends, and it was more likely than not my own fault for making it, because I thought their friendship was secure, that I could just talk all about Scentsy. So it's a good reminder. And I love your analogy of let's pull people in instead of push through the season, because that goes back to our foundation. When we pull people in and we keep them in and we keep them engaged, hey Cash, and we keep them as part of our group, they're going to want to be there. They don't feel like, they won't feel like a commodity. No, maybe that's not the right word.
Yeah.
They won't feel like they're being used. They'll feel like they are part of something. And I think that's a really good, vulnerable story. And I really appreciate that. If you guys have other things that you want to share, we can stay on a little bit later. If you have other vulnerable stories that you would like maybe help working through or talking through after we stop recording, we are absolutely happy to stay on and talk through those with you, because sometimes knowing this is recorded, it could be awkward to be willing to share those things. So we will stop the recording soon, and you are welcome to share with us, and it won't be recorded for all time and eternity.
Just mine.
Yep, just Katie's. So thank you guys so much for an amazing call today. I feel valued by you guys because you show up, and that fills my cup, knowing that I feel like I'm providing value to you and a place that we can be. And this sense of pulling, I want to, Katie, I envision your nails too with this, because I just, pull it. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, for being you, for showing up, for being part of our tribe. You are wonderful. You are appreciated. You are loved. And it's your move, you guys. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.